Now, this was very clear to me. I remember I was on my terrace, and most of the insights that I received, I got them on the terrace. So I get this instant realization that this duality of happiness and unhappiness, this cannot be separated. Which means that there is no happiness that comes and stands by itself. Every happiness comes attached with unhappiness. And no matter what, I cannot break this chain, this link of interconnected opposites. I mean, this was way before I studied Advaita or read books of Ramana Maharshi or Ramesh Balsekar. It was so clear to me, there was not even a slightest contradiction in my mind. And there was a complete sense of surrender. And I knew it that I cannot do anything to break this link between pleasure and pain. Every pleasure comes accompanied with pain. In fact, what most of us perceive as pleasure is actually pain in disguise. Because first we enjoy the pleasure, and then when we don't get it again, then we feel pain. Sometimes seeking pleasure itself becomes pain. And Nisargadatta Maharaj says that the river of my life flows between the banks of pain and pleasure. And suffering is clinging on to one side. So if I try to accumulate pleasures and completely avoid pain, that becomes my suffering. Or if I just cling on to pain, which also happens, and avoid pleasure, even then the life is suffering. But when it is understood that there is nothing the individual can do, this apparent individual can do to break this link, it is then that the true surrender happens. So you see, surrender is not a doing of the ego. Surrender is an impersonal understanding. It is a spontaneous, instantaneous understanding. It does not come up as a thought. It's just there. And there's no confusion about it. You just know deep within you that whatever you're chasing in search of, whatever happiness you want, deep down you know it is futile. You still enjoy the pleasures that you experience in the moment. It is not that we deliberately have to shun away all pleasures of life. We still enjoy what is available in the moment, and we accept the pain that is also there in the moment. But the pleasure in the moment does not create a craving in time. That means when I'm enjoying that pleasure, I enjoy it completely. But there is no compulsion to repeat the pleasure. And similarly, there is no resistance to pain as well. The pain which is experienced in the moment is felt completely. When there is no resistance to pain, the pain does not become suffering. You know, it is like how Buddha described it, that life is like getting shot by 2 arrows. The first one is the genuine arrow, which you get in your foot. So that is painful. So that pain is there. That's a genuine wound that needs attention, that needs treatment. But then there is a second arrow, which is the psychological pain, the psychological trauma, which is associated with the first arrow. Now, that is not the real arrow. While it is there may be some intensity of that arrow, but that is not the real arrow. The first one is the real arrow. So the pain in the moment does not become suffering in horizontal time. While we can treat the first arrow, there is no treatment for the second arrow unless we understand that it is not there. It is just our mind that is creating that feeling, that sensation.